Okay, you have landed your shiny new Ford Maverick, and now you're trying to figure out the best way to protect whatever you slide into the bed. Is it possible that that solution is in this box from Worksport? That's the question we'll explore straight ahead. Hello friends, Bill Hobson here. It is good to have you with us as together we explore the contents of this box from Worksport. This contains the AL4, which is a custom size bed cover for this Ford Maverick. This Ford Maverick, by the way, happens to be mine. It's my first ever truck, and it's the smaller truck version, but it makes it no less important for me to be able to protect the things that I put into this truck, whether it's my golf clubs, whether it's the camera gear for our TV show, whatever it happens to be, we know this. We want all of our cargo to be protected from the elements and from the bad guys, right? I mean, that's the bottom line of all of this. We want to make sure that we have security in here when the tailgate is up and locked. We want the cover to be relatively impenetrable. And so we're going together in the moments ahead to unbox this AL4 from Worksport. Let's see how the process flows. It's fairly simple. There aren't very many tools required. And my friend Ken has come along. He's the handy one of the two of us. And so you'll be able to see how simple this process is. And then stick around for the very end of our feature, because we're going to put the AL4 through a car wash test to see if it truly does protect this bed from all of the elements. So make sure you stick around to the very end. All right, time for the unboxing. The first two things I like to do when entering the unboxing and install of a new product from a company I haven't met before is to pull out all of the contents to get a feel for what's in the kit and grab the installation guide so that along the way we can learn not only what to do next, but also whether or not the directions are accurate and complete. The AL4 is very well packaged, and you'll be pleasantly surprised that you're not dealing with a million parts that spill all over the place. In fact, the entirety of the installation guide details a total of just 8 steps. I think there were 23 steps for a backyard storage bin I assembled last summer. So I really like the concise nature of the instructions and of the kit itself. All of the clamps and nuts and bolts and washers, etc. were accurately packaged, and, spoiler alert, we didn't have any left over at the end, which is one of my pet peeves, since having a few items left at the end of a project always makes me think I missed a crucial step. So as we launch the installation process, we begin with the side rails. These rails, beginning with the plates at the very end, are vital to the effectiveness of the AL4. Everything about the cover, from its secure latching to its weather resistance, connects directly to the correct installation of the side rails. Our installation process was largely smooth, although the 3 clamps on each side provided a bit of a challenge, mostly because of the tight area and a little difficulty rotating that rear clamp. But after we figured out the orientation of the first couple clamps, the others followed without too much trouble. My key tips for the rail installation are to make sure to position them all the way forward to the front of the box and pay careful attention to the prescribed spacing of each element, because when we install the cover, the latches and latch plates on the side rails must be properly aligned. And for the most part, the side rail installation was smooth and fairly quick. Okay, the side rails are assembled and installed, so now we can just bring the cover up to the very front, where we will begin the important task of making sure everything is properly aligned and sealed so that we can have all the protection we signed up for when we got this AL4. One quick word before we slide the cover all the way up to the bulkhead. If you have watched any other videos of the AL4 being applied to the Maverick, you have seen a separate application of a bulkhead seal up here. Well, in the latest iteration, the seal is built into this flap. Now, remember when we were installing the side rails and I mentioned the importance of sliding the rails all the way up to the very front of the box? Well, that's because the initial connecting point for the cover itself depends on the accurate placement of the rails. There's good news. If your placement is off a little bit, the AL4 allows for adjustments to be made as you go. We also need to make sure everything is squared up and aligned properly, since this initial position serves as the anchor for everything else to come. In case you're wondering, Ken is not actually asleep. He is in the bed of the truck because as we extend the cover for the first time, we want to make sure that there is a snug fit between these latches and these latch plates. Each of these latch plates has a little bit of play vertically so that they can move up or down to ensure a firm connection point between the latch and the latch plate, because that's what helps with the security and the weather integrity of the AL4. So we'll make those very minor adjustments and then we'll see how snug the cover fits. Well, thanks to my incredible talent, skill, and ability, who are we kidding? Thanks to Ken's incredible talent, skill, and abilities, we got the AL4 in place on the Maverick. The tailgate, of course, goes right up to it. You can close the tailgate after the cover's down or do it the other way around. It fits pretty snugly either way. We thought we'd take you on a little roll-up adventure. So each section releases with the cable right here underneath. Couldn't be simpler. It's a very gentle pull. And as we make our way from the tailgate back up to the cab, we have a choice to make up here. We can just secure it in place with the latch that we installed earlier. The holder is all the way up here by the cab. The good news is the AL4 has one more level to fold up all the way to the cab, and there are support arms that are part of the rails that we installed to begin this whole project. The support arms come off of here, they come up to here, and now you're good to go. You can use all of this space and you can drive securely with your cover in place. And that, my friends, is a rapid-fire look at the unboxing, the installation, and kind of the first feel for what this cover can bring to your Maverick. There is, however, one more step in the process. I talked about it way back at the beginning, because even though we were never really guaranteed that the Maverick was suddenly going to become a watertight submarine, we do count on this AL4 cover to provide us some protection from the elements. I'll have valuable things back here that I don't want to get wet. And so to close things out, we're going to do one more thing. We call it the car wash test. Okay, here we are inside the car wash giving the ultimate moisture test to the AL4. When we pull out on the other end, we'll go back to the tailgate, open things up, and see how it did. Simple enough, that's the car wash test. It's time for the big reveal. Here we go. Tailgate down. And we do see some moisture here at the back, which, by the way, doesn't surprise me that much because there is a natural gap between the tailgate and the side of the truck. I am not blaming the AL4 for this moisture back here. So we'll keep on going and see what's up near the front. And as we roll it all the way up, it's hard to hide the evidence of the soap that has made its way all the way up to the front. And because the area in between is pretty dry, I have to think that this moisture came in from somewhere up here. Keep that in mind as you assess the environmental security of the AL4. By the way, as we wrap up our test and our time together, just a little word for you, that if you're interested in the AL4 or anything from Worksport, we've got a promo code for you in the description below. Thanks for joining us as we have all together explored and experienced the Worksport AL4 for the very first time.